You've finished work. Your laptop is closed. The last meeting ended hours ago. You may even be sitting on a sofa drinking a cup of tea, but your mind is still racing and answering questions. You're replaying a conversation that went on earlier. You're planning what needs to happen tomorrow. You're remembering the message that you forgot to send. You're anticipating what someone else may need from you. Your workday has ended, but your body has not received the message that the demand is over for the day. Hi, I'm Beverley Schäfer, and this is Sovereign Conversations. This is a channel for high-performing women who are done abandoning themselves so someone else's needs can come first. If you're a successful woman over 40 who finds it impossible to switch off, then I want to show you the 3 signs that your nervous system may still be on duty, even when you are technically resting. And I want to be clear, this isn't a diagnosis. It's a pattern that I recognize because I have lived it for so long. For years, I had positions of enormous responsibility. I was making decisions for thousands of people. There were always problems to solve, fires to put out, people who needed answers, and consequences to consider. I became very good at anticipating what might go wrong. That ability helped me professionally, but it came at a cost. My body stopped distinguishing between a real emergency and another email or one more request or one more difficult conversation. I could leave the office, but the office never left me. Perhaps you recognize that. Here's the first sign. Your body stops, but your mind keeps working. You sit down, but internally you're still in motion. You replay what happened during the day. You draft tomorrow's conversations in your head. You remember something while brushing your teeth and immediately reach for your phone. You even solve problems in the middle of the night that nobody has even asked you to solve yet. You see, this can look like dedication. It can feel like responsibility. But when your mind is constantly scanning, rehearsing, and anticipating, you're not fully at rest. Part of you is still preparing for the next demand. And because high-performing women are often rewarded for this kind of ability, we don't always recognize it as a warning sign. People call us dependable, capable, the one who always knows what to do. However, eventually, being the woman everyone can rely on can make it really, really difficult to remember how not to be responsible. You may be lying in your bed, but internally you're still in your office, sitting at your desk. The second sign is one small request which feels far too much to handle. Someone asks a perfectly reasonable question. Your partner, your husband, wife, asks, "What would you like for dinner?" A family member needs help with something small. Another message arrives, and suddenly you feel disproportionately irritated with everyone. You may answer sharply and then feel terribly guilty because the request itself was not unreasonable, but often it is not only about that request. It is about every demand that came before it. Your reaction may be telling you that the available capacity in you has been completely used up. This matters because women often turn that irritation against themselves. We say, "Why am I so impatient? Why can't I cope with one simple request or one simple thing? What is wrong with me?" But irritation is sometimes real information. It may be the body's way of saying, "I've got nothing left for one more request, one more demand." And that's what I call snappy resentment. It doesn't mean that you have become a difficult or uncaring human being. It may just mean that you have been overriding your own limits for so long that your system is completely protesting on your behalf. The problem is that many capable women have silenced that very protest. We apologize. We push down the irritation and we continue to say yes. Then we wonder why the resentment keeps returning. And the third sign is that you're exhausted, but stillness feels uncomfortable. This is one of the most strangest parts of running on empty. You see, you desperately want it all to stop. But when you finally have the opportunity, you don't know what to do with yourself with all that time. You scroll, you snack without really feeling hungry. You watch something while also checking your phone at the same time. You tidy the kitchen. You answer one last email. You really don't know how to just sit still. So you look for another small task. Your body is tired, but stillness doesn't feel natural at all. Sometimes constant activity becomes so familiar that stopping actually creates discomfort. Not because you do not need the rest, but your system has adapted to constant motion, constant anticipation, and constant demand. This is why an evening on the sofa doesn't feel like you're restored. And physical inactivity and physiological restoration are not necessarily the same thing. You can stop moving without truly settling down. You can sleep without waking refreshed. You can take a day off while spending the entire day about everything that is waiting for you when you return. That is what I call running on empty. You see, it doesn't always look like collapse. Sometimes it looks like highly capable woman continuing to perform while gradually losing access to her energy, her patience, and her sense of herself. So what can you do? Well, the answer is not to demand that your body relaxes, because if telling yourself to relax worked, you would have already done it a long time ago. Instead, begin by creating a deliberate end to the period of demand. Here's a simple transition practice that you can try today. Put both feet on the floor, flat. Let your eyes slowly look across the room, rather than fixing them onto your phone. Notice 3 ordinary things that tell you exactly where you are. Perhaps the light has come through the window, the color of the wall in the living room, the sound of someone in the room next door. Then say either silently or out aloud to yourself, the work day is over. I don't have to solve anything today, and I don't have to solve tomorrow, tonight. And for the next 2 minutes, nothing is required of me. Now breathe in naturally and allow the exhale to become slightly slower and longer than your inhale. Don't force a very deep breath. Don't try to perform relaxation perfectly. The purpose is simply to create a small, clear boundary between responsibility and rest. Obviously, one practice won't undo many years of living on duty, but repeated signals will definitely matter. And your body needs more than just an empty diary. It needs consistent evidence that it is allowed to stand down. So here's the path towards feeling alive again. Inside my Back to Yourself reset, I describe the movement from running empty to alive again through 3 practical foundations. God sleep, fuel the body, and book space. God sleep means treating your transition into rest as very important rather than bringing the entire day into bed with you. Fueling your body means recognizing that caffeine-skipped meals and willpower are not going to give you a sustained energy practice. And booking space means protecting your time that does not automatically belong to your work, your family, or anyone else who depends upon you. Ask yourself, has my work actually ended, or have I simply changed rooms? Because the first step back to yourself is not forcing yourself to cope better. It is noticing when you've never truly been allowed to stand down. I've created a free 2-minute off-duty audio guide that can help you mark that transition and tell your body that the immediate demand has ended. You'll find the link in the description below. And if this video describes your evenings more accurately than you've expected, then please subscribe and join me for the next episode called Why Rest Isn't Restoring You When You're Running on Empty. You do not need to become less capable. You need somewhere in your life where you are no longer required to be capable for everyone else.